Let's talk about something you use every day that might be impacting your health. Salt. Even if you're not a salt fiend shaking it on everything, you're probably getting more sodium than you realize. Processed foods, restaurant meals, even your favorite condiments, they're often loaded with sodium. Too much sodium can lead to serious health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, and kidney problems. In this video, I'm going to share 10 practical tips to help you cut back on sodium and improve your overall health. Alright, let's start with the basics. Be a label detective to reduce sodium intake. Don't just grab the first item you see. Check the nutrition label. Look at serving size and sodium per serving. Compare brands for sodium levels. Choose the lowest sodium option. Watch for words like sodium, salt, or soda. Make label reading a habit. It's empowering for your health. Your heart and taste buds will thank you. Now let's talk about something near and dear to my heart: protein, specifically poultry. Some poultry products can be surprisingly high in sodium due to being injected with a sodium solution to enhance flavor and juiciness. When you're at the grocery store, take a close look at the packaging. Look for terms like broth, saline, or sodium solution in the ingredients list. Opt for fresh or frozen poultry that hasn't been injected with anything. Check the sodium content of unseasoned fresh meats. It's naturally very low, usually around 100 milligrams or less per 4-ounce serving. Compare that to a serving of prepared rotisserie chicken that's been pre-seasoned with sodium, which can have upwards of 400 milligrams of sodium. That's a huge difference. Let's be honest, folks, a little condiment here and there can really elevate a meal. But did you know that some of our favorite condiments can be loaded with sodium? That's right. Those seemingly innocent squirts of ketchup, dollops of salad dressing, and dashes of soy sauce can add up quickly. The key is to choose wisely and enjoy them in moderation. Look for reduced sodium or lower sodium versions of your go-to condiments. Be mindful of your portion sizes. Instead of dousing your meal with soy sauce or ketchup, try using a small amount. Fresh herbs, spices, citrus juices, and vinegars can all add a burst of flavor without the added sodium. Get creative in the kitchen and experiment with different flavor combinations. Let's be real, canned goods are a pantry staple for a reason. They're convenient, affordable, and can be a lifesaver on busy weeknights. But many canned vegetables, beans, and soups are packed with sodium. When you're shopping for canned goods, look for products that are labeled no salt added or low sodium. These options are typically lower in sodium than their regular counterparts. You probably won't even notice the difference in taste, especially when you're adding these canned goods to other dishes. When you're making a big pot of soup, chili, or casserole, you're likely adding other flavorful ingredients like herbs, spices, and maybe even some broth. So, don't be afraid to experiment with no salt added options. Alright, let's talk about a little shortcut that can make healthy eating a whole lot easier. Look for the American Heart Association's heart check mark. This little symbol, a heart with a check mark inside, is like a beacon of hope in a sea of confusing food labels. It's a simple way to identify foods that can be part of an overall healthy dietary pattern. The heart check mark can be found on a wide variety of foods, from breads and cereals to soups and frozen meals. So the next time you're at the grocery store, keep an eye out for that little red heart. Let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the salt shaker on the table. One of the biggest concerns people have when they think about reducing their sodium intake is that their food will taste bland and boring. But let me tell you, my friends, that couldn't be further from the truth. Reducing your sodium intake can actually help you appreciate the natural flavors of food even more. Fresh herbs and spices are your secret weapons in the fight against bland food. Think basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary, cumin, paprika, chili powder. The possibilities are endless. And don't forget about citrus juices and vinegars. Get creative in the kitchen and experiment with different flavor combinations. All right, let's talk about a super simple trick that can significantly reduce the sodium content of your canned beans and vegetables. It's called the rinse and drain method. Before you use canned beans or vegetables in your recipes, simply drain them in a colander and then rinse them thoroughly under cold running water. This simple act of rinsing can help to remove up to 40% of the sodium that's present in the canning liquid. By draining and rinsing the food, you're essentially removing a significant portion of that sodium-laden liquid. So the next time you're using canned beans or vegetables in your cooking, don't forget to give them a good rinse. Let's face it, our taste buds can be creatures of habit. Instead, try a gradual transition. Think of it like training for a marathon. Gradually increase your mileage over time. The same principle applies to reducing your sodium intake. Start by swapping out higher sodium foods for lower sodium versions. You might be surprised at how quickly you adapt. Let's talk about a simple yet powerful way to reduce your sodium intake. Put down the salt shaker. Most foods already contain naturally occurring sodium. Instead of automatically reaching for the salt shaker, try tasting your food first. You might be surprised at how flavorful it is without any added salt. Fresh herbs, spices, citrus juices, vinegars. These are your flavor-enhancing friends. By breaking the salt shaker habit, you'll be taking a major step towards improving your health and reducing your sodium intake. Let's talk about how the way you cook your food can actually impact its flavor and its sodium content. Certain cooking methods are naturally better at enhancing the natural flavors of food, which means you can get away with using less salt. Grilling, for example, is a fantastic way to bring out the natural sweetness of vegetables and the savory flavors of meats. Similarly, roasting is another great option for enhancing natural flavors. Roasting vegetables brings out their natural sweetness, while roasting meats results in a crispy exterior and juicy interior. So, the next time you're planning your meals, think about incorporating some of these cooking methods into your routine. So, there you have it. 10 simple yet powerful tips to help you cut back on sodium and improve your health. Reducing your sodium intake doesn't have to mean sacrificing flavor. When you use less salt, you allow the natural flavors of your food to shine through. Over time, your taste buds can adjust to less salt. Studies show that when people follow a lower sodium diet, they start to prefer it, and that the foods they once enjoyed taste too salty. Now go forth and conquer the sodium challenge. Your heart and your taste buds will thank you.